But welcome back everybody to the Dragon Ball podcast. And I know that it's been a while. It's been like 5 months since our last episode, but it's due to a number of reasons and we're going to cover all of those reasons today. But first, I wanted to introduce my the other host today. So his name is Drew and his channel is What If Universe. And how are you doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm happy to be here. Just excited the podcast is back after all this.
Oh yeah, I agree. Now, I doubt there's many people in here, but why don't you tell everybody about yourself? Like, what kind of content do you create, so on? Like, what can our viewers um, expect from your channel? And this way they can also get acquainted with you better.
Well, I like to make what if videos. Basically, I cover all sorts of topic, Dragon Ball included for sure. I've also attempted to try a Dragon Ball Z Abridged theory video, which was pretty interesting, discussing about a possible character being Nappa. But unfortunately, with the cancellation of DBZ Abridged, that theory might not come to fruition because the Buu Saga was never done.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense. But other than that, do you have anything else to add before we continue on?
Well, I also have a second channel called What If Universe's Extended Universe, where I do podcasts and do more of my side content there. So that's also something fun to check out if people need someone else to.
Definitely should check out Drew's channels. That he really does make some very interesting and good content. And let's continue on. Let's explain what's been going on with the channel and where it's going to be going now. So to briefly explain everything, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of the old fans know that Sal left right around like middle November, and me and Jake were left in charge. And about a month later, like, we decided that it would just be best for us to part ways. And so, since I don't want to say since then, but like, if it wasn't for Drew, I definitely think that this transition of managing DBN would be very hard. So, now we're here, and we wanted to update all of you guys. Now, we're going to be presenting a lot of new content to the channel. So it's not only going to be abridging stuff and, the splash of a few videos here and there throughout the year. We're actually going to be covering like a plethora of Dragon Ball stuff. And Drew, do you want to run through some of the topics? Or not the topics, rather, the categories?
Yeah, for sure. So something that's being in the works right now is a what if video. So for people who don't know, they're basically alternate scenarios for anime. Like, I don't know, what if Goku married Bulma, kind of like what Moscow X and a lot of other what if channels do. So we're going to try one of those out on the channel and hope you'll. Also, something else that we're going to try out is more discussion based content. So we might be reviewing the recent manga chapter and stuff like that, and other Dragon Ball news. But most of that will be restricted to the podcast for the most part, as far as like major events and stuff. Also, podcasts, that's the most important thing really coming back. We're going to try to keep them decently frequent, but also at the same time, there isn't too much news going on at the moment, so those might come slower as well. I don't know about 5 months short, but maybe like 3 months or 2 possibly.
Well, let's not put a number to that. To that.
Yeah, that's true. Like, who knows? Maybe stuff will get more active. Maybe there's stuff we don't know about, honestly, because obviously we don't work for Toei or anything, so we don't know what they could be possibly doing at the property for sure.
Absolutely. But even though Dragon Ball isn't around, like, this isn't the first time that it's happened, and there are a lot of topics and a lot of different categories that we can be covering, not just the abridging aspect. So another portion that we'll be doing is commentaries, stuff that we've done in the past with movies, and also we not everybody knows of this, but we did Dragon Ball, the OG excuse me, the OG Dragon Ball streaming like commentary of that. And yeah, it actually, that was a lot of fun. We would do it in Japanese, and we never got a chance to expand on it, but I think that now like we definitely will be able to do that. Um, Obviously, being Super Saiyan Science, there's going to be science topics, and I will have guests on, now and again that are going to help me with several topics because they're not my expertise or my forte. Um, I mean, we can actually. Would you want to give one of them away? One of the specific videos that we would be doing together.
Oh yes, one video that me and Science are working on in the background once we get the recent episode DB Bridge done, which we'll give an update that later on the podcast. But basically, we're working on discussing the science behind the Big Getty Star, because there's a lot of interesting aspects that we don't think people talk about, and it's really absurd and obscure with how it is. So we think both of us together are able to tackle on the topic,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's actually a really, really interesting topic, and it's one of the more like real life situations to like that can be compared to Dragon Ball. And I think that a lot of people will enjoy it, if they do tune into those videos. Now, obviously, we're also going to be covering theory videos and the manga anime reviews, and possibly, now we're just not sure about this yet, but possibly also gaming. And then lastly, we'll be doing the behind the scenes and kind of showing you guys the step-by-step process that we go through when making Dragon Ball GT abridged episodes. We tried it out the first time with episode 4, but I think we're going to give it another shot and try it again, because not that many people showed up, and it wasn't there weren't enough questions. So like it all depends on you guys, basically. But yeah, those are the things that we're planning on covering, and a lot of them are already in the works. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I think this new, like, finally, like, going towards a direction is going to help, especially with a lot of people already know that Toei and other companies like to strike down the abridged series, so we have to do other content in the meantime while we fight claims.
While we fight hand and foot. And what's going on, Nicholas? How are you doing, buddy? So, do you want to cover the next point?
Yes, so one thing that's really important to bring up is that we're planning to revamp Patreon. So if you have any ideas, be sure to comment below, or anyone who's watching us live, you can give comments for ideas for that. But however, we'll go more in detail with that with an actual announcement video, because we're still working out kinks and stuff with that.
Right, and I think there actually might be a link to it down below if you guys wanted to check that out. I'm not saying that you should become a patron. I'm just saying to check it out, maybe give us some ideas, suggestions here and there. Do you want to take over this one? I'll get the last one. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, I can do the next topic as well. Something else important to mention real quick is that we're looking into actually having guest appearances for the Dragon Ball Network as a whole, basically, kind of. So the main thing with that is that we're going to have signups that are designed for people to like pitch ideas, videos that they want to talk about, and basically they'll basically pitch to start their idea for a video. Maybe it's a what if, maybe they want to do a discussion video that we haven't heard before, and they have a chance to appear on the channel, try to broaden their audience, and actually get get people interested in them. I think it's really valuable for up and coming people who just need to have a
Ju-
platform or soapbox to
and
be
just
on. And
yeah, and just collaborate, with amongst the community and grow that way. It's not necessarily about the numbers. It's also, like who you know at the end of the day, and how much knowledge you can gain from them, and kind of avoid a lot of mistakes that I'm sure that a lot of us have made.
well, right. The idea is to bring us closer as a community to get to know who's actually out there.
Yes.
Because with me and science, we don't have all the time in the world to talk to everyone individually. So with this, it gives us time to actually set up, like appointments and have a chance to actually talk with you about your idea.
Right. It's the entire thing is that the Dragon Ball Network is supposed to be a community. We're supposed to not just make really good content and thrive from that, but we're supposed to make the community better. That includes fans and creators, from both aspects. So I think lastly, which is the I'm not really sure how to say this, but basically, we're going to set up a Twitch schedule as well, and this way, you guys know exactly when we're going to be streaming. We're going to start streaming again for starters. That it's also been like 4 or 5 months since we've done that, but it'll be the same thing. We'll start up again with the Dragon Ball episodes and then movies, and we'll proceed through the entire series. Now, the big thing that we wanted to mention is that this Friday, and we'll announce this several times again, but this Friday we're going to be doing a Dragon Ball Super Broly movie giveaway. So we're going to watch it as well as give a physical copy away and a digital copy, and we'll explain all of the instructions on our Twitter. So.
If you're not following it, do that now because we give updates
And
new things there, and it's pretty important.
yeah, and Matthew just started to follow us. What's going on, Matthew? So yeah, I think the amount of stuff that we have in store for you guys, it's really exciting. Um, I'm definitely excited, and I can't wait to start, seeing your reactions from it and all that. But oh, thank you, Spicy. Thank you for the follow. Now,
Yeah, thank you.
so let's cover I guess the itty bitty amount of Dragon Ball news that we do have. Coming up this weekend, there was supposed to be the Dragon Ball Classical Symphony in Chicago, and obviously got canceled due to the pandemic going on in the world. But what were your thoughts on it? Like, would you have gone if it wasn't like a money thing? Was that something that you were interested in, Drew?
My thing with music is like I do have a passion for it, and I really highly respect people who do it. But at the same time, I think it would have came down to a money issue, like you said. If it wasn't a money issue, I probably would have made time to go to it. It would have been nice.
Yeah, I really wanted to go. I wanted to experience like all of that. I've never gone to an event like that. Plus, I can't really imagine, uh, you know, Dragon Ball music being played like that. It would have been really cool, and also to meet other fans.
Right, because obviously there isn't as many events as there used to be. Like, I think when Super came back, it really brought the community back together again. I think it brought back in so many people who are dormant, so many people who just wanted to be with people.
Yeah, it also brought in a lot of new people, obviously, a lot of new fans, and opened up the community. Opened up the fan base once more. But we're steadily going back down because obviously there is no new anime. Now, the other thing that's still up in the air is Kamehacon, and it still hasn't, nothing has been really said about that entire convention. We did apply for two panels actually at KamehamehaCon. One of them to premiere the next episode of Dragon Ball GT Abridged, and the second panel was to have a science Dragon Ball panel. But because of everything that's going on, they're just waiting. They're holding out and to see what the situation is going to be. Oh, thank you, Pablo.
Thank you. Let's see. Matthew's asking. So this is basically a group of YouTubers do Dragon Ball Z stuff, like being under needs one group to be more connected. It's kind of like that. I think it's good, decent.
Sort of. This is a really niche market. I'm sure that you guys know that. Even though Dragon Ball is super popular, like there's a lot of creators, and to make it as a little guy, it's really hard. Plus, coming together as a group, it also allows us to concentrate on our strengths, and have other people kind of intermix their strengths with our weaknesses rather. So like we become a complete channel, or that would be the goal. But yeah, otherwise it's just like a group of YouTubers who do Dragon Ball Z stuff.
That is very true. And I think something that I think could be cool if KamehamehaCon considers is the possibility of doing live streams, but I know it's more of a riskier market for like certain people, but I do think people might still watch it, in my opinion, because with the current pandemic, people honestly would still want entertainment, in my opinion, and they'd probably still be willing to pay for it potentially.
Matthew asks if we are the good Frieza Force. You mean the Saiyans?
Maybe he means the Galactic Patrol.
Well, yeah, but they're like the cops. They don't really count.
I mean, I guess I guess Steven doesn't believe in love.
Yeah, that's true. And
the Pride Troopers. Maybe it's more accurate.
Well, we're like, we're that new age Saiyan. Like, we're super chill.
No, we're the Great Saiyan Men. I guess. Ourselves.
Now, earlier on in the podcast, we said that we would give you guys an update on Dragon Ball GT Abridged Episode 5. And I think we could, say that about 85-90% of the script is done, and there is a draft edited out. It's a very poor example of a draft, but there is something out already. Well, already created, and I think that by May 1st, or that first week of May, the episode should be coming out then.
According to Matthew, I'm the Jiren of the group. I kind of agree with that.
Oh no, we're all gonna get our ass kicked. But on that note, I'm thinking. I mean, you guys should look forward to it. Tomorrow we'll be releasing a video on. It's explaining one of the original Dragon Ball plot holes of how Goku was able to take Boss Rabbit up to the moon and not die. And so obviously it's a plot hole, so it's not explained, but then I also go into the realistic science aspect of what would happen. It's a very short video, like not an entire 45-minute lecture, but I definitely think you'll enjoy that as well. And then we also have just like Drew said, we have a what if coming out, interviews, the podcast is coming back. And then also Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie giveaway, which is happening this Friday. And to get all of the instructions for that, you should follow us on Twitter. Now,
something else that we might attempt trying is actually in-character interviews. Basically, you'd have like the voice actor of Pan actually voicing Pan being interviewed as a character. But at the moment, we kind of want more feedback on that. So if you all have ideas you want to give in chat or in the comment section, let us know about that, because I'll invest into making scripts and stuff for that as in-betweens while we wait for episodes to be worked on,
Right. I mean, that would be a really good idea. I think it would be a little strenuous for the voice actors, and I don't want to make them also like nervous or uncomfortable. It sometimes is difficult to not so much like recreate the same voice, because we weren't going for that. It just kind of happened that our voice actors sound so similar to how the actual voices are, with the exception of a few, of course. It would be hard on them, basically. So,
how many live streams will we do weekly? We are not sure yet.
I think we can definitely say one every single Friday, or one. Let's say one every single week, because it might not be every single Friday.
Yeah, that's better. Keeps it more broader in case something happens.
And we would obviously let you guys know in advance. Like there would be a schedule posted. It'll be a lot more professional and not last second. So,
which that's something that obviously we are working on for sure.
We could play Dragon Ball Z games, but I mean, how many times do you want to go through that same story? That's my opinion of it. I might have the negative aspect, like negative appeal towards it, but it is an option. It's just not something that I'd be doing.
The main thing that we have to consider right now is that Science has the PC for streaming. Like, I wouldn't mind playing games and giving you some stuff for it, but as far as streaming goes, that's kind of the issue, because I don't know. I might have to find some games for Science to try out potentially, but I think it's about personality and actually having people have enough demand for it,
Spicy goes, the cast of DBN playing DBZ Kakarot on Twitch. That's a lot of people on stream. That's 17 or 18 people, and that's the light. The 4 episodes that we've done now. The cast is definitely going to expand from that number, but I can't imagine that many people on a stream. It would be really cool though, Spicy.
Yeah, I will say, as I get more involved in DBN as a whole, I will say that a lot of voice acting on my part will be cut back for sure, because obviously I want to work on other aspects for sure.
Right, yeah. I mean, I have to take that same role. So I completely understand.
Like, you might hear me as like one-off characters potentially, but as far as getting something more long-staying, that's not gonna happen most likely.
Right.
At least I won't apply for anything.
Now, Drew, this is actually more of your area. Matthew goes, and like what ifs live as well. Now, how would that actually work? Since you're the what if creator.
Basically, we would take people's what if suggestions and just come up with theoreticals of how we think that scenario would play out. So for you being a more scientific person, if someone asks more like a scientific what if type of thing, you just played out more literal, versus like a story based something. That'd be something that I would probably have to take on and make it work.
That makes sense.
Hello?
Sal, you're here.
I am here.
Oh, so we also said that
live?
Yes, we are live.
What's going on, guys? Sal the Saiyan here. I'm happy to be here with everybody.
Yes, yeah, we have you as a special guest.
Yeah. So what's up, everybody? Everybody in the chat. Man, I'm not sour, damn it.
Everyone just calls you that on Twitter. There's been 2 times this has happened. Someone called you Salad by mistake.
2 times today.
No, I get it. Like I would say once every 2 weeks, somebody is like, "Oh, it's Sal the Saiyan," and like it's so upsetting because I'll be like getting a random DM. Hey man, your videos are awesome. I absolutely love it. You keep killing it. Keep going, keep going. And then like I'm like, oh, thanks, man. And they're like, yeah, I loved your video, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, that's not me. Sorry.
Yeah, that must
pretty
be
heartbreaking.
upsetting. Yeah, I could imagine.
Thought people actually liked my videos, but
You know, the thing is though that at least you had that like little bit of moment of actually enjoying it. People could just not tell you that at all.
exactly.
So-
Exactly. So who's in the chat? I see Nicholas is here. Any of the other regulars, like Zio and
No, Zio's not here, but Spicy's here.
okay, I
And-
don't know Spicy.
And also Lawless Hydra.
Okay. Am I coming in and out or am I talking consistently?
No, you're good.
Okay, because
It's probably just on your end.
oh, you know what it is? Because I'm watching the stream from
Yeah,
my
it's muted.
computer and it's delayed. It's obviously not going to be
Yeah,
Like,
it's always like
up
10
to the
seconds
second.
delayed.
Yeah, so I was like, oh wait, I'm talking and it's not like, you know, like it doesn't have the thing look like it's talking, but
Yeah.
I got it. So all right, well, thank you, Nicholas. You're my friend too. So what's the main topic of discussion?
You know, actually, Sal, just in case that we have some new people in here, you can also explain the type of content that you cover. And
Ah, okay,
About
okay.
yourself.
So I'm a Dragon Ball YouTuber. If you want to check out my YouTube channel, look it up. It's pretty simple. Sal Sal the Saiyan. You can check it out. I do Dragon Ball discussions. I do reviews and informative topics. Kind of everything Dragon Ball, except for gaming. I don't really do Dragon Ball gaming because I kind of suck at Dragon Ball games, and I'm not really that hardcore into them, and I don't really have that much time for gaming anyway. But I do enjoy me some Dragon Ball, and that is what my channel is based around. So if you guys want to go look that up, you can do that. If you want to follow me on Twitter, same thing at Sal the Saiyan, and yeah, we can chat.
well, thank you for that, Sal. So,
Thank you.
wow, stop it. So I know that we said that one of the topics we could cover is covering the manga. And I said that I'd get to it before we get on the podcast today, but I'm actually reading through it right now.
Oh, okay. So you want to give us like your live reaction, and is it possible if you can put what you see on the screen, like the pages?
If you give me a second, I could do that.
Yeah, do that because then I can follow through with you, or we can both follow through.
Right. Then give me a moment.
Anyways, oh, Lawless Hydra, I hope if you're talking about me and you like my vids, really appreciate that. I got more stuff coming out. I was supposed to edit and upload a video today, but I didn't get the chance to. Some stuff came up. So, yeah.
Okay.
I just saw it pop up for a second. Okay, now there it
Yep,
goes.
there it is.
So right now you're in the
I'm like 2/3 of the way through.
Okay.
Well, we can
I
start from the
really-
beginning.
some of the yeah, we can do that if you Drew, would you be fine with that?
Sure, let's do that. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh boy, time for me to start ripping into it. I already did my manga review, so if people want to see like my thoughts, they can. But I guess this might be a little more than that.
Interactive?
A little more elaborated. Yeah. All right.
So, how do you want to do this? Do what you want to just?
No, you do it. You're the host. I'm just giving my commentary. Well, basically, okay. Let's see.
Right.
if there's
So
anything-
so we open up and it's basically where the last chapter ended. Goku.
And I just want to say this thing that's coming up, like on the left page and the page after that, really pissed me off. Like
Okay.
I did not like Toyotaro's characterization of Goku here. So if you want to just like show everybody what I'm talking about, if you look at Goku and Krillin's conversation, he goes, Krillin asks Goku, he goes, "Are you actually worried?" And he goes, "Nah, it's more like I'm super excited." And he's like so happy. Like, that is honestly, like, okay, Goku's not a superhero, but he's not an idiot like this, and he fears his opponents. Goku is not like that, especially in a situation like this where the Earth is about to basically, if they lose, go
everyone's in danger of dying. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He has said in the past, who is it specifically? I think it was Goku goes against Vegeta when he's about to fight him. I can find you exactly what he says if you give me a minute. But he says something along the lines of like, "Oh wow, like his power is awesome. I'm really scared, but I'm also excited." Like, it's not like, "Oh, I'm not worried at all. I'm so happy to be doing this." He's not happy to be fighting Vegeta, but he's, excited for the challenge.
It's both ways. It's both
exactly
both ends of the stick.
Exactly. Like, I think that's something that Totoro missed. He probably sees it as like, oh, Goku likes to fight.
He's coming in like Superman.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's not even liking.
Well, Superman's more of a superhero. He would be more like, "I'm not excited at all to fight. I want to protect everybody," and that's not Goku either. Goku's a mix.
Well, there's always a possibility there's mistranslation here, because there's a lot of words you could say for surprise that mean the exact same thing but different tones of voice.
Right.
In Japanese.
Especially with Viz. But again, if you kind of look at the why I think that might not be the case here is because how few words there are on those panels specifically. Because those are if you can go to the next page. Yeah, those are the those two panels right there. There's not really that many words there. So for them to mistranslate that would kind of be crazy.
He was probably gonna say like, "Oh, like I'm a little excited," but instead he goes like, just
"I'm super excited," and like, look at his face.
Right, straight to the max. There's only so many mistranslations you can take with that face. I mean, it's cute and all, but like, no.
Super excited.
Maybe he's really horny. Maybe that's what they meant to say.
Oh.
I mean, look at the face of the reaction down there.
Right, I mean.
Maybe that's what Viz really meant.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe. Maybe we're uncovering the real truth.
Maybe
here.
I'm mistranslating it myself.
Yeah. But let's keep going.
Okay, look at this dude on that on the page over. Look at his design. That's such a bland design. What the hell? Okay, Google, stop.
Okay, but there's also so many villains that were introduced.
I know. I
do agree with you.
That is a cool shot there. I like how Goku, like, he just kind of like punched him and like has him like leaning over him because he like hit him so hard the guy's knocked out.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
That is true. But
but I'm saying it's just a cool shot. I like it.
There is this reoccurring theme though, where it's like Tien, Yamcha, even Piccolo and Gohan, like they're getting beat by the grunts, and then Goku just comes in and he like swoops everybody off their feet and like everything is cool, and now they're even mentioning it. So I think that like animes, or at least Dragon Ball, they don't do that. It's never been directly said and spoken about like this. It's kind of like a Western approach, in my opinion.
I mean, I see that, but here's the thing: I have an issue with Goku coming in and defeating all the henchmen and then going in right after the fight the main villain. Now, a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, you have an issue with that, but you don't have an issue with Goku beating the Ginyu Force." And the reason I say that is because the Ginyu Force were the main villain at that point. Frieza wasn't in the battle yet. So Goku coming in to beat those guys who were the number one threat at that moment is no big deal. This, on the other hand, I feel like it would have been handled a lot better if Yamcha and Tien and Krillin, if they got to defeat their opponents by themselves, and it would have shown, they could have done something instead of just holding them off. And then Goku comes in and waves his dick around.
I think if they they're at least losing, at least it shows that they at least try.
I
Like,
mean,
I
look,
think
it's
that
better
would've
than not
been
having
better.
them at all.
Right. That's very true. Where it would just be the Goku show.
Mm-hmm.
Right. With
Yeah,
the
I
sprinkle
totally-
of Vegeta.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I just think you know, he should have showed up later on. Like, you know, when he comes in with Ultra Instinct later on in the chapter
Mhm.
against Sagambo, I thought that should have been his when he showed up.
Right. Kind of like he did in the Namek arc. Because there were so many other... there were the grunts before that, and they were taken care of, or whatever. They had their hurdles there. But I guess this is different. Like, everyone is losing, no matter who it is. So...
Right. And then it's like, okay, everybody's just going to get destroyed, and then...
And this isn't the Frieza, you know, like, level villain. This is a Ginyu.
Right, exactly. It's like, yeah.
Using-
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And at least at the end of the day, those characters were able to, like, even though Goku defeated Raccoon, Jason, Burter, and I guess Ginyu technically defeated him, but, you know, at least then afterwards, Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta got to be in the final battle.
Right.
Whereas here,
They're going to be taken out. They're going to be sidelined, and they're going to be narrating
exactly,
the rest of the show.
Goku defeated Sagambo.
Yep.
But look, I can't complain because what we got with 7-3 with Piccolo and Gohan
Mhm.
was fantastic. So I think right now we're looking at it like we're not looking at it from the perspective of the arc as a whole.
We're
looking at it
nitpicking.
from this chapter.
Right.
I think when you look at it as a whole, you're not going to have these issues because you're like, okay, Gohan, Piccolo got to fight 7-3 twice.
Mhm.
Gohan got to fight him in an awesome battle. You know, that's all stuff that we're kind of forgetting here.
Right. They basically triumphed over him too. Basically.
Exactly. And
So-
the artwork was incredible. I cannot wait
The-
for first of all, that initial Piccolo versus 7-3 fight, if that is ever going to get animated.
Right.
I would love for that, and also, you know, both of those fights.
I mean, the entire arc is great. It has tiny little things that...
I mean,
that
I
we're
wouldn't say
picking
great.
at.
it's good.
Compared to the rest of Super.
This is the best arc of Super, I
yeah.
would say, by far. I mean, but look, the Future Trunks arc in the beginning was looking like it could have been a better than, I would say, most of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball. Like, it could have been one of the better arcs of the series. And then it just completely went downhill once you got... I feel like once we found out that Zamasu was... Goku Black was Zamasu.
Mhm.
That's when the arc started to go downhill. And then at the last couple of episodes of that
And the
arc
whole
just-
thing with time travel and... it did get confusing, and then we got that weird-ass form.
Patara, Recon,
Yeah.
all
Well,
that stuff.
me and you have argued about this. We have...
It's a retcon. It's like
Fine.
if you're changing what the audience knows about something that has been established for years and years, then that to me that's a retcon. It's not a plot hole, but it's a retcon.
I actually wanted to ask what Drew's favorite arc is in Super, and you know how it compares to the rest of Dragon Ball.
All right, so I think this might shock a lot of people, but I genuinely believe
It's
the
GT.
Copy Vegeta arc is the best arc that was in Super.
Come on, you literally could have came out with So GT is the best series.
Okay,
You're talking about GT, or
can I be real though?
you're talking about Super GT? I get confused when he said that.
Oh,
No, he's talking about Super, but
yeah.
can I keep it real though?
Go ahead.
You're good.
Okay. I actually don't think the Copy Vegeta arc is bad. Like, people shit on it, and I have no idea why.
In my opinion, I felt like it should have been a movie. It could have been decent movie material as like a one-off.
It could have been.
That would have been a waste of a movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think if they were a movie, they could have done something way better. I think it's fine for a 3-episode filler arc. You have Goten and Trunks doing something for at least an episode. You have some good gags with Jocko. You have an interesting fight between Goku and Vegeta. I don't know.
They could have expanded on that. They made it 1 episode, or
I thought that's all it needed. If you're gonna go further,
that's what I meant by it. Like, it could have been either explained better,
or it could have had copy Vegeta win, or something like that. Like,
okay, let me ask you guys a question. What are your legitimate complaints from a writing perspective about that?
About the arc as a whole, or
about the copy Vegeta arc?
You know, to be honest, I actually don't remember how like the story gets there.
It gets there because
but that's the issue. That's the only
comment. I'll tell you what happens. Goten and Trunks see Jocko is at like, oh no, not Jocko, Manaka.
I know what it is, and they get onto the delivery truck.
They get in there and they end up on the planet.
But I don't like actually remember. Like, and that's what I'm trying to say, that there's not many moments in Dragon Ball that I won't go and remember like right off the top of my head.
You'd be surprised.
Like with me, like I think the Garlic Jr. arc is more memorable than the copy of Vegeta.
Okay, I actually think the Garlic Jr. arc is good, and that like
I did too.
That's what I agree with.
I have such unpopular opinions. Like, I think the Garlic Jr. arc is good. I think Dragon Ball GT is better than Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yes.
People like the average casual fan will honestly hate on me so much. I think Dragon Ball is the best written series out of the 4. When most are like, "Oh, it's Z." You guys have no idea. Like, I love Dragon Ball Z. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying, like, objectively, I think Dragon Ball is the best of that group. I think the Saiyan arc might be the individually best arc. But once you get to the anime, especially like Frieza and the Android arc,
it becomes very, very long, and it's different writing.
Yeah, and could we say for a second how like the difference, like the Frieza arc to me in the manga is a top tier arc. Like, everything about it's just great. There's obviously, you have your little issues here and there, but then you get to the anime and it's like Goku versus Frieza is like 20 episodes.
It's 5.5 hours long. Something like that.
You don't need that. You really don't need it.
No, but it was 5 minutes for whatever the hell Frieza is.
I know.
It's
a
long time.
It's ridiculous. For just the same fights, and that whole arc in general drags.
I don't know if you remember. There's parts where like, it's basically the end. Well, not really. The planet isn't exploding at this point, but Goku was thrown into lava, and then like 3 episodes pass of how like Gohan comes back, like he's looking right. He's
There's
looking for
a filler episode of Gohan fighting Frieza.
Right, in his like basic. I mean, it's final form, but it's not full power.
It's reduced, yeah.
Yeah, but still, that makes no sense. That should be like, he should be out with a pinky.
It's like Kid Gohan in base is stronger than Goku.
Right.
According to the anime.
Right.
But it's just, honestly.
Which, that's something what if people should take in consideration. If you look at these and actually take them as canon, a lot of characters are far stronger than what they should normally be.
For sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, people interpret things so many.
But you should be interpreting it from a book or from a manga aspect much differently than from an anime, because the anime, like whatever it shows, that's what it is. With whether it's a book or once again a manga, like your imagination can take you a lot further than what the animation actually shows you. But it's weird that it's the other way around.
Yeah.
So.
I get that. But anyway, let's continue with the chapter.
So 17 and 18 are also getting their asses handed to them.
We didn't even see them.
Right. But we just know that they are because of the way they look. So we can... do you want to explain each panel? We can just kind of,
I can go through panel by panel.
I don't think it's necessary.
All right.
So...
we'll start on the other page. Sagambo raises his hands. He's boiling in anger, and he explodes, sending Gohan and Piccolo flying. Wait, what the hell? Oh,
It's wrong.
Gohan and Piccolo dash towards Sagambo. They prepare a ki blast together and fire it right in his face.
We saw this right before the Tournament of Power began, and then we saw it in the anime, but in the manga, this was held back. So this is kind of the first time that we see them fighting side by side like this, right? Unless I'm mistaken.
Nah, I may have seen it in manga.
Yeah, but maybe.
The manga doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So yeah, they fire a really, really big blast.
Yeah, big blasts. Big boom. All right, next page.
Yes.
Okay, so this blast is... Oh my god, the dude tanked it. He didn't even realize, and he punches them, sending them back. Everybody wonders, how is he this powerful?
Sal, I think you should just do this. Just whenever the manga comes out, you just...
Honestly, I could be such a good what if commentator.
But you don't even need like sound effects. Like you'll recreate them yourself.
Like...
Yeah, whatever. It'll flow naturally. And then I'll edit it in post. It'll sound great.
You know, like in the Goku versus Cell fight when they have like the shock waves, like when they like punch each other, it's like...
Yeah, or you could just shake the panel.
It's like, Goku has become a Super Saiyan.
See? There you go. Drew, are you enjoying this? This is the... Oh, man.
Does it sound like I'm enjoying this?
Well, that's why I'm asking, because...
Look, I don't know why you need all this fancy editing for GT Abridged. Why don't you just bring me on for the sound effect? I'll do it as they're recording their lines.
Well, yeah.
And I'll do the music.
There you go. I mean, dude, that's it.
I mean, basically every song in the GT soundtrack is like a remix of the opening.
Yeah, about 6 of the 47 songs.
Everything,
which is crazy. Or it's a little bit slower, or it's a little bit faster. That's it.
Right.
There's no variation. But
all right, next page.
Yeah, next one. So I'm guessing he's not getting enough from these guys because now he's picking on Jocko too.
Jocko's kind of talking trash to him.
Nah, Jocko can take him on, honestly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he is a super elite or something?
Yeah, he is. He's beyond a Saiyan elite. He's a super elite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's at least like Super Saiyan 2. Some nonsense. No, but they kind of go back and forth. And
yeah, I didn't really care for this.
Right.
I have no issues with it.
Exactly.
I think when Jocko says just a joke, he should have been super serious. No, I'm kidding. I think this is fine.
It would have been a great character moment.
Yes, it would have.
Yeah, this should have been Goku's introduction, honestly.
Right.
Like, this is where the panel show started. Just skip over the other fight.
Mm-hmm.
Skip over all of that nonsense. That would have been a third of the chapter. But
Exactly. You don't need that third of the chapter. Just explain it like in a blurb. That's all it happened.
Same way with GT. Same way. But let's keep going. So he keeps getting rocked by somebody who's really, really, really fast.
It's Sonic.
Yes.
Sonic.
Now Gohan can sense his ki, and he knows that it's him, but Piccolo can't. And like, I'm gonna forget the whole like them seeing him.
I don't think he can see. I don't think he can sense him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That.
Really?
Oh, you think he just knows that it's? Why wouldn't it be Vegeta or Yamcha?
Why would it be Yamcha is the question.
But yeah.
Because it's like that's his first reaction.
I guess so.
It's Yamcha. He's doing it.
Well, we'll see right now. Hold on. Oh, Jocko's the one that picks up on him.
Same, and I like how they pick up on that from the Universe 6 arc, where Jocko's got crazy good eyesight to be able to see.
Was it Universe 6? It wasn't Resurrection of F?
No, it was the Universe 6 arc because he was able to see Frost.
Oh yes, with the poison.
needle.
You're
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
I do think this panel here does show the significance why Piccolo can't see him, because that's when Moro points it out.
Right, that too.
I think that's why they did that.
If you think about just how powerful these characters are, I mean, Piccolo is like above everybody from Dragon Ball Z. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like Buhan, Super Vegito, like he's above all those guys. And
he can't
even see Goku.
Right. He can't comprehend it. He might be stronger, but he's not. No, I'm just kidding.
He can't even see it,
right,
or sense him. That's crazy.
Right.
The whole
So
thing was
seeing him is one thing, but sensing him is the other, and it's not like he's exhibiting God Ki or something like that. He's in base, and we know that.
Right.
I'm gonna go to the next one.
Sure.
I just don't like one thing that Gohan was brought up to be. So I like the way that the manga has been treating Gohan. It's definitely more explanatory in sense of like, you know, his power and all that stuff. But then when Goku comes in base and overpowers Ultimate Gohan and Piccolo and 17 and 18, I mean, it's just, I get it. He's had crazy training.
Look, no. You got to go ahead. He, like, once you get ahead in the chapter, you realize he wasn't actually in base. He was in Omen.
Oh.
They reveal that. Yeah. At first I saw that, I'm like, holy shit, how strong did he get? Like, he's literally, like, Gohan beat Kefla.
Right. Or no, they were equal.
He beat her.
Well, they were equals. But
he beat Kefla.
Fine.
There's a luck element, though.
I know, but I'm saying he beat Kefla, and they were equal in strength. For him to, like, you can't even see him. Like, I was in base, I'm like, holy shit, this dude literally got, like,
yeah,
that means
it's just
he's
unreal.
More powerful than, like, way more powerful than his blue form.
At this point in
the
base.
Tournament of Power,
right?
It was like he's literally gotten like millions, like tens of millions times stronger.
Right. In
that's
6
not
months.
the case, because he was an Omen.
So we see the guy get back up, and now he's still going to continue to fight. And I'm guessing now they just... Oh, no, they keep talking. Never mind. And Goku gives them this underhanded compliment.
I like it a lot. It shows that... But here's the thing. I like... One line I like a lot is Goku saying, sorry you had to fight again, Gohan. It shows that
he understands
Goku legitimately understands his son. And it's a big FU to all these Goku bad dad people, you know?
Well, he could still be a bad dad. Playing.
No, he apologized that he had to let Gohan try. It's his turn to take over. It's the Goku
He's apologizing
show.
that Gohan was forced to fight here, and he knows that Gohan doesn't like that, so he's recognizing.
Right.
And I think that's just a great moment, you know, and I think it's just showing that Goku understands his son. Which
no, I meant what you're talking about.
I know.
But yeah, that is a good moment. So Goku goes into blue, right? And they continue to fight. They're exchanging blows,
really cool looking fight once it gets going.
I did like what Piccolo said in the last panel. It's kind of seems pretty sad, but it's like, what's the point of training if we can't even defend the Earth?
Yeah, and I hope that isn't a sign for things to come.
Well, I hope that shows that we might see some of these sideline characters become even stronger if we've seen them. Because that could be motivation.
It could be motivation, but
Piccolo might just be
could go either way.
might be getting disheartened and like, why am I getting like I'm so many like infinitely stronger than everyone in Z, and then still
Like
doesn't
when
matter.
like when you put like a week into editing a video and like think it's gonna bang and then it sucks.
Every video.
And it doesn't do well at all.
Yeah.
That's how he feels.
Yes. Except this has been going on like his entire life. All right. So we were
At the fight scenes.
right, and so now that Goku's in blue, like he's still kicking his ass, but he realizes that this guy has stamina. Like he's able to take all of these shots and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is, how much is he holding back? Which we don't know.
Well, we don't, but we do know that
He might not be holding back.
So
But that's the point. We don't know. Like, he could actually just be holding back
Right.
in that state.
the other thing is that Gohan and Piccolo both go and mention that he's stronger right now than he was in his blue form before. And
Well, meaning he got stronger.
yeah, but usually they don't mention stuff like that. Like, oh, it's usually like, oh wow, like he's strong, but it's not like
I don't
Such-
think the writers interpret power scaling the way the fans do.
oh no, but I'm comparing two. So if we were to take the same two situations, and the only difference is that they added this time that like the last time we saw him in this form, being the difference in the two scenarios, like I think that's a big thing. Rather than like the last time I saw you, like you weren't nearly as strong, or like whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah, Goku gets strong each panel because first time they say it, and then in the second panel, Gohan also says.
Right.
Right.
But I think they're also trying to say blue, specifically blue, because Omen's coming.
Right. And I mean, again, like I don't think the writers interpret power scaling the same way we do. And when I say that, like, okay, I respect the hell out of him, and I can see his points. But you know how Carthus Dojo did that video where he said all of the characters in the Android arc, like Yamcha, even they're stronger than Super Saiyan Goku on Namek because of one line that I think Dr. Jiro said. I think that sure you could look at it from that perspective, and you can try to find every little line to make the character seem more powerful. But do you really think that Toriyama was sitting there like, oh, Yamcha is now stronger than Super Saiyan Goku?
Absolutely not. It's
like, I don't think so.
Well, I would say yes, though. Here's why. Because Toriyama is a jokester. It would be funny to put a character like Yamcha on that level. Then later on, Jiro just drives his hand right through his chest.
well, actually, it happens in reverse.
But if Toriyama is writing a gag, you're gonna know it's a gag,
Right, because it's going to be straight humor. It's going to be like stupid, like childhood.
But humor is objective, though. That's the issue.
Yeah,
but you can tell Toriyama's humor. It's kind of easy to recognize. Like he's very he's like very.
Well, I mean, there's traditional,
jokes.
there's just regular, or just like one-off gags.
Right.
Well, that's
And
typically
that's why I
his-
felt like that's what it was. It was just a one-off gag. It's like, oh, they're Frieza level now.
Mm-hmm.
Because literally after the Cell Saga, power scaling was sort of out the window when Boo started.
Yeah, I mean, power scaling was kind of screwed up anyway in the.
Yeah, it's just it's power tiering. Like you can
Right. I think that's kind of a way you have to look at power tiering. Like, okay,
between
Goku's
two
stronger than
people,
here.
and that's
It's
it.
not like Goku is 30 times stronger than Yamcha in his base form. Like, I don't think that's the way that you need to look at it when you're looking at the writing. Like, I think doing all that stuff is fun. I'm guilty of it myself. But I don't think that's the way like if you're judging the story and you're trying to enjoy the story, you're gonna be mad if you're looking at it.
Where 3 years later, somebody who was like so irrelevant now becomes stronger than the strongest person you saw in the chapter before that.
Well, I think Nicholas also brought up a good point, because Jocko, how strong he is compared to everyone else, is pretty impressive, actually, considering he's also played with several gags.
But he's also the second strongest galactic warrior, whatever it is.
It seems to me like Jocko's like Frieza soldier level, like maybe a little. Honestly, the way that he's shown, his power he hasn't really had that many moments to really fight, like, and he hasn't fought anybody really that powerful.
Or seriously.
Yeah. And it's all, he's used for gags, because, you know.
That was the way he was introduced too.
Right.
In dare I say, minus. I didn't say it, Sal. Anyway, so moving on.
And what?
In minus.
Minus isn't the Jocko manga.
I know. It's
Minus
it's the other way around, but still. So
I don't even but honestly, there is one
which is
that I don't like, and it's about Goku and Bulma's age. It's actually more of a plot hole than a retcon, because Goku is 12 years old in the beginning of Dragon Ball.
11 and 12. Yeah.
Bulma is 16. And they make it so that Goku is 3 when he arrives on Earth, and Bulma is 5 during that point, because she makes an appearance. So they have a 2-year age gap. And I think the reason Toriyama made that mistake was because he probably reread the Dragon Ball story and was like, and he saw in the beginning of the story where he has Goku say he's 14, which he probably read that and was like, oh, that's how old Goku was.
Right, but he messed himself up. Let's put it that way.
Because he changed that, I guess, to have the gag where it was like, oh, I can't count.
This is going to be by far the longest manga chapter review.
Well, we're not thinking about the entire chapter.
We're almost done. We have like 8 pages left.
Okay.
I really like this moment when Moro just blasted him.
Right, but it's the second, I guess, minion that he's done it to.
But it really shows
page on the bottom
what his character is, though. Like, I think that's what...
They're all just pawns.
Exactly. Like, they don't matter to him. What's important to him is actually seeing stuff get done. And no one can do it. Like, he knows that.
They're all just pawns in his game.
If one were to surpass him, he would probably actually be worried, I bet.
Right.
Has there been another villain like that? I mean, Frieza, unfortunately, but it doesn't really count, because he did care about Zarbon and the Doria and the Ginyu Force, and like, yeah, they were still pawns, but it's not, they weren't disposable. Yeah, they've been there since before Frieza inherited King Cole's army.
Babidi was a little bit like...
I disagree a bit. Like,
what
sure,
he did with Yamu and Spopovich.
Okay, maybe with those two, but other than that,
oh yeah,
it's a bit different.
And then just jumping onto Vegeta,
right?
Well, it's more about loyalty to me. With Babidi, those were just mind-controlled people, in my perspective. They weren't really loyal. With this one, it is a loyalty cause, because with Frieza, he sort of builds up like those militarily.
Right.
Versus Moro, it's like they're people for hire, and he can dispose them at any time. It seems like.
I think they all sat in jail with him, though. They're all.
Well, he promised them like freedom,
and probably money or some other,
not just
the usual.
Freedom. Oh, they're jail.
Right.
And the joke is that they're already free. What's the point?
Right. Well, I guess I feel like that, and I guess he's probably also going to.
They're righteous. They're righteous villains. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. And then also they'll get their own stuff. You know what I mean? They want some loot. I don't think Moro's going to take it all for himself.
Right.
Like, I'm more surprised why none of them tried to steal his wish. That would have been interesting to see.
Well, none of them were around at that point.
Or at least try to figure out that plan, because that could have had like a
The
neat
only
tension.
one who was there was Raspberry, and Raspberry did try to steal his wish.
The
you
last
guys
one that he
remember
wasn't going to use, right?
Yeah.
Moro did use that one.
Oh yeah. What did he use it for? I forgot.
He used it to release the prisoners.
Yep.
Well, at least he lived up to his word. I guess that's fair. He did do that.
The other thing is that this is a game to him that, like, you know, he gave them all this time to get stronger, so that way he thinks that he's still going to win, and by them getting
He's
stronger
a little
means
bit like Cell in that regard.
with that saying bravado,
Yeah, because you know how Cell was like, oh, like
power
let's
up
do
as
the
much
Cell
as you want.
games. He's like, oh, how many days do you think it would take you to like do you think if you came back in a few days you'll be able to get stronger?
Right.
Like when he goes to Trunks, and that's why he did the Cell games. Cell's a little bit like I always felt like Cell was more of an evil Goku than Goku Black ever was. Because Goku Black obviously just looks like him. Where Cell actually has a little bit of his personality traits. I mean,
Well,
Cell does have a bit of everybody's personality.
Yeah, and Vegeta's too.
Cell, Vegeta, Goku, Vegeta, a little bit of Frieza.
Right.
Those are the main three I think of.
Well, yeah, and
personality.
Piccolo's.
Right, but I don't see much of Piccolo's. So.
The smart wittiness.
The actual willingness to be patient. Just wait.
Patience can,
Right. I mean,
yeah.
he did just stand there for a few days. Like,
Right. For not 10 or 9 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was.
However many missed Gohan birthdays.
I think it was 9 days.
I think so.
Miss Gohan.
Well, I'm saying like mixed it, like, because they messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, so now Moro turns him into this weird Bio Broly Hulk looking thing.
Yeah, I like that panel.
I want it to be colored. I wonder if anyone has done that yet. And
Some fans do.
yeah, I'm sure. But it looks there's a lot of nice panels. I'll give Toyotaro that.
I think he's a good artist. I think he's a good writer too.
Yeah, he's really picked up his stuff.
I don't really think he's that bad of a writer. I think he did a better. Like the more that I think about it, I think, like, I just did a read through of the Universe 6 arc in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did a better job than the anime staff.
Oh, absolutely.
The Goku versus Hit fight was better in the anime.
It's not fair though, because he's going second. He saw where, like, their
Right, but in
flaws.
the beginning, I thought he did better.
Well, also explaining Blue and God and all that.
Right.
Mm. So this is literally Goku versus Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Which now we live in a weird timeline where there actually could be things where stuff could be caught up to now, and they could be fixing the other issues potentially.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Well, if you think about it, if Super were to come back, there's potential that any flaws that we might see at the current manga could be fixed in the anime potentially now.
No, I don't think
They could
so.
always do that, and they could do. You know what I mean? I mean,
Or they could do it worse.
They're not going to be the same.
Right.
I don't think they're going to be adapting it like the way the Dragon Ball manga was adapted into Dragon Ball Z.
I think the way that it should be interpreted is two people read the same book, and it's the story that they tell you of that book or the story afterwards.
Right.
The key parts are going to be the same, and then
Right. But this arc, it seems like, is mainly written by Toyotaro and Tori. Like before, it was like, okay, Toriyama bullet point notes. But I don't think Toriyama's the one coming up with the story. I think
he actually
okay.
he has stated that in an interview that he's like very what's the word? He's very satisfied with what Toyotaro is doing, and that he thinks that he's the only person that can go and mimic his style, like what he wants to see, basically, in the next generation.
I honestly think that's a very positive sign for Dragon Ball future of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
It shows that past Toriyama, it's going to continue, and if it's somebody that, like, you know how like fans didn't see like GT as a valid continuation because it wasn't written by Toriyama.
Right.
I think if Toyotaro, it has Toriyama's blessings to
It
take
has
over.
it has proof of like, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job.
Right. I
Yeah.
think fans will definitely appreciate that.
Oh, Nicholas actually has a bunch of questions. He asked, aren't Goku and Chi-Chi 19 when they fought in the
18.
yeah.
Chi-Chi may be a year older than him. She actually probably is. But Goku's...
Yeah, I believe Chi-Chi is older than Goku, actually.
She might be a year older. Not more than that, though.
That would make sense, though. I mean, it's kind of tricky because when we do meet Chi-Chi, she's already thinking about a wedding and all that stuff, and I don't think that.
Yeah, but you can't go by. That's like
I know that's more so, just my perspective on it. But I don't think like a 12-year-old fantasizes about it, but a teenage girl, on the other hand.
You never know.
So.
You never.
So now Moro's asking to see Ultra Instinct again, and if he doesn't show it to him, he's going to keep boosting up. How do you pronounce his name?
Sagambo.
Sagambo. I understand.
Yeah, I was checking. Actually, Dragon Ball Code actually has a video on how old Chi-Chi is. That's probably a decent, accurate source. Someone wants to check that.
Shout out to Dragon Ball Code.
Yeah, he's a voice actor, right?
Yes, he is. He's
Who does he voice?
Oob, Dende, and Shu.
Oh, okay. He's a nice guy. Remember
Yeah.
talking to him.
Oh, he's a professional voice actor. He's done stuff or is currently doing stuff with Netflix, and I think he has also done something with Disney. I may be getting confused, but he's definitely a professional voice actor.
No, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that.
But so now finally Moro goes and kills his
He overloaded him. He gave him
guinea pig. No, he shot him in the head.
Not much.
There's a hole in his head.
Go to the next panel.
I don't want to go to the next panel.
How dare you?
I think it went through him though.
No, he gave him too much power. Read what he said.
Well, I know. He couldn't even withstand that smidgen of energy. How pathetic. I can't see. This is what doesn't make sense. That Goku's bringing up like, how could you do that to your friend? There's no honor like amongst thieves. I don't know if you guys have heard that saying.
Right, and it's showing that here.
Right.
It shows how bad Moro is.
And so that's a rhetorical question, Goku. You should know better. But then again, he calls him a scumbag afterwards. So, and now the moment of truth. I like how Moro calls it no mortal ability.
Yeah. Even though, like, I feel like
Well,
they
'cause-
never said that Ultra Instinct is a god ability.
I think that's more anime.
Does it require
No, I think
god
it.
key?
Well, I think in the science and the anime, the stars say
It's a thing
A
that
bit
the
of-
gods of destruction and the angels have. So it's like the highest of the high, right?
But
Yes.
it's not a god's ability.
Well, that's something that's probably
It's a ability on the level of the gods. Like Super Saiyan Blue is a god.
Okay, so taken from like actual reality where this is taken from, it's usually the masters of the masters who go and possess such a technique.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean so. Like the highest of the high have it, but it doesn't mean that if you achieve being super duper master of whatever martial arts it is, that you'll just attain this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just being a god or a god of destruction, as we know. But Drew,
Right.
what were you going to say?
I believe it was Sal the Saiyan who brought up that when Goku, I guess, is saying Ultra Instinct sign, that was actually taken from Dope, which is interesting.
That was taken from Dokkan?
Yeah, it was never referred to that until now.
Yeah, I don't. It's like it's a video game.
Yeah, I know what it is. I played it, but I think it's interesting that he brought that up, and it's like he's right. That's never actually been brought up anywhere else.
Oh, yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, no, you're right about that.
By the way, Sal, we included you, and we have a triage of our profile pictures.
I see it on the left.
There you go.
Oh, there I am.
Now
Oh
you're
my
in.
God.
Yes, I knew I forgot something.
I'm just like, you guys are just chilling. And then I'm like, hello, boys.
Well, you know, I made you like a little bit skinny, a little bit more handsome.
A little more.
We had to teach you instant transmission.
Yes. Well, that's basically what it was. But I think that for the next podcast, one of the things that we should touch upon is 7-3's abilities, and just because he's able to copy them,
I still don't think we're done with him.
No, we're probably not, because that, like, you can't just go and throw an idea that great away. But from what we do know, I wanted to compare, you know, his like copy paste abilities and without any knowledge being able to use them, versus somebody like a Sal or a Ginyu, right? A Ginyu would be, I think, way closer to the way that 7-3 uses these abilities, rather than Sal being composed of them. So I think that should be something we cover. But
Yeah. It's interesting.
I think for today, we're going to call this one adieu.
Yeah, I mean, you're up to what, in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
I mean, it's a
And
good return, but
You were privileged with the opportunity to have me on.
well, absolutely. Do you know that this is the first video we're doing together?
It's not true at all.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's the first video me and Sal did together, technically.
I feel like we were on a video together, DBN.
Were we? I don't think we were. I wasn't interviewed or anything.
Isn't this the first video we've done?
Yes, it is. It's the first video
There you
with
go.
every other person. That's
I mean,
in it.
I've never collaborated with anybody, you know.
Yeah, it's the first video with myself, actually.
You've collaborated with me.
What? No, I'm saying Sal, you don't count. Come on. But yeah, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this podcast. They're going to get better, I promise. And we also promise to have better people on than Sal.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
If you want to check these out live, be sure to check us out on Twitch where we do these. But if you happen to just come in late or you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that stuff.
And we will see you very soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Show the 世にぶさまる羽